Okay, I think we are live, aren't we? I'm here with Sharon. How are you, Sharon?
Very well.
Excellent, excellent. Sharon is checking, will be meditating with me, and she's checking if everything is going all right. So that's wonderful. And we are broadcasting from Sydney, Australia. Welcome, everyone who's watching this broadcast. I'm so happy to be here and so happy to meditate with all of you. Um, and today's topic is related to our needs and how to get into the calm of this wonderful morning. It's very sunny here, a bit windy outside, but altogether glorious. Um, so, yeah, how to get into the calm and overcome what Abraham Maslow called basic needs. So we all have those needs to be loved, to create relationships, to be acknowledged with all our gifts. And when those needs are not being met, it's very easy to succumb to, well, some of us, we call them addictions. Some of us, we don't even recognize they are addictions. And it's so difficult to be present to them and recognize that just simply part of our biological software that we are all programmed with and that we evolved with. So it's simply part of us. And I think the ability to be present with those needs, it's so important. Be present to them and recognize them. Um, I want to give an example from actually yesterday when I felt I couldn't contact someone, and all of a sudden I feel this urge that something is wrong with the world, and I felt very, very anxious. And I felt like my world is falling apart, and my head started creating scenarios because in my head I thought that something is wrong. I lost connection, uh, and all of a sudden my head was rushing. So I found out very soon later that nothing was wrong, and that person was simply out of reach, and nothing went wrong, and everything, that all the experiences, all that turmoil and disturbance I felt internally was just myself, were just thoughts. And once I find out what happened, they were gone. So then I ask myself, what was it really there? What stopped me from being my happy me? What stopped me from uh, being myself? And I came to realization there was no other person, there was no world around me. It was me. And I think the moment I recognized that, that was a big changer for me. And from that moment on, I could be more myself, and I could claim all those feelings for myself and all the sensations I felt in my body. And that was beginning of the calm. That was the road to the calm, to the present moment. So yeah, I'm sharing with you those experiences because I think it's very important for you to see and to know that everybody experiences that. It's not just an ordinary person that struggles with those feelings and emotions. It's absolutely everyone. And even with me, with so many meditations hours, um, with my own behind my belt, I still experience those things. It's only a matter how we relate to them. And if we develop the ability to deal with them for what they are, just a thought patterns, a biological software. In science, they call it a default network. So it's a part of our brain that is responsible for rumination. It's responsible for all those thoughts that circulate in our brain. An interesting fact about that is that 90% of all our thoughts are repetitive. So we are not very original with what we think. We actually repeat the same thought patterns over and over again. And the moment that we realize that we do it, we start being more calm because we realize they are not us. They're just something that our brain generates regardless of what we are, who we are, where we are. And meditation is obviously one of those tools that helps us to recognize it, to retrain our brain to feel more ourselves and recognize that part of our being that it's always there, it's always calm, and it's always fulfilled as a separate part from the thought patterns and rumination and anxiety that we experience. I don't mean to say that anxiety is not real. It's as real as we experience it and as real for all of us. However, amidst all this chaos, it's important to recognize for what they are. And part of today's meditation is just that, to recognize and see the true meaning of all those thoughts that cause us so much suffering. And a very important part of every meditation, as I teach during my classes and as I teach on Insight Timer, is to get into relaxed state. And relaxed state, it's not something that it's very difficult to attain. It's something that is always there and it can be experienced at any given moment. And meditation actually helps us to train ourselves in the art of getting relaxed into the present moment, regardless of the circumstances. So that's what we will attempt to do today. I will guide you through a process, first of all, of relaxation. And then from the moment when you start getting a bit more relaxed, we'll see where that's going to take us. Because then we will go into unexplored territories of our consciousness where things started happening. And the important part after our body and mind get slightly relaxed, it's important to see what's underneath all, again, those thought patterns, all the common occurrences, the life that we experience, to-do list, what's waiting for us underneath that. And I cannot promise that it's happened to all of you and it will happen instantaneously. But even if you'll be able to catch a glimpse of that, what is underneath all of this, this is a beginning of a very important journey for you. I think that's where meditation is so important, to show us that this is an opportunity and this is an option on the contrary to what we normally experience. Particularly to all of us, or to those of you that are experiencing a lot of anxiety. And I obviously am one of them. I'm feeling anxious a lot of time. And this is not to stop this anxiety, but recognize it and be with it as other things are happening in your life. Mm-hmm. So obviously, all those feelings that come as I started this broadcast, they come from the simple fact that we are humans. And all those basic needs that we talk about, the sense of belonging, being loved, creating friendships, caring about personal growth, all these feelings come from the fact that we sometimes are not coming from the fact that those needs are not being fulfilled. And particularly these days in the era of social media and such an abundance to some of us, it's very easy to look for substitutes for those needs. For me, if I feel disconnected, if I feel slightly depressed, I reach for a comfort food. For the others, it might be a TV show that you so much like, and you look for the sense of belonging. I can tell you from my own experience. One of my favorite shows of all time is called Friends, about just a bunch of friends on a TV screen. They're having fun. And I remember watching it and for a moment feeling as if I'm a part of it. And that part of me that wants to belong, that wants to be included, that wants to create friendships felt really fulfilled. But the moment that TV show was over, I came back and I realized that this is just a substitute. This is not going to be a lasting feeling. So, what we can do, we can simply search for friends and we can find them. And most importantly, there's no substitute for it. No TV show, no food, no beverage can offer us a substitute for any of those needs. So, the beginning of the journey towards calm is within yourself, and recognize that you are always capable of all those things. And we are all going through motions, and we all experiencing those emotions that put us into state of anxiety. And that's okay, because underneath this lies our true self. And during today's meditation, we will try to get in touch with that, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, I think it's time to start the meditation. Sharon, how are you feeling? Okay, I think we are good to go now. So we are going to play you some gentle music, and um, we'll see how it goes. I will guide you through some relaxation, and through meditation, I call it reaching down deep in the center of your heart. And after we finish, after we'll be sitting for about half an hour, and after that, we will have time for some questions and some sharing. So we'll see how it goes. Are you ready? Can we put some music on, please? Okay. There we go. Okay. So I want you to make yourself feel comfortable. Wherever you are, you're part of a larger community. You do belong, and you are being loved, and you are enough. And that's the starting point. I ask you to close your eyes and start feeling at ease. Begin by tuning into your body. How do you feel right now? Whether you experience a pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling, it doesn't matter. Allow yourself to be who you are, just for now, just for the next half an hour or so. Sit upright with your back straight, but not rigid. A dignified position, looking ahead. Allow your breath to flow freely. Recognize the music in the background. Recognize your surrounding. And slowly start sinking in there's still any discomfort in your body, soften it with your awareness. I will guide you through some breathing technique that will allow you to disengage this part of your nervous system that is responsible for tension and clinging. And hopefully, it will put you on the way into the calm where your nervous system relaxes and switches from the sympathetic part into parasympathetic part that is responsible for so-called rest and digest mode. So I'll ask you to breathe in deeply through your nose, as if you try to smell a flower, and breathe out through your mouth, as if you blow a candle. I call it technique 478, which means that we will breathe in on the count of 4, hold our breath on the count of 7, and breathe out through your mouth on the count of 8 as I guide you. Are you ready? In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe normally and relax. It may happen that you may experience some tingling in your body, maybe in your feet, maybe in your hands, maybe in your chest. That's absolutely normal. That's the oxygen coming and rejuvenating your body from inside out on a cellular level. That's a wonderful start. And now continue breathing. Just follow the natural flow. Breathing in and out through your nose this time. If it's comfortable, keep your mouth closed and rest your tongue behind your teeth. And as you breathe in and breathe out, start recognizing the expansion that you feel when you breathe in and the subtle contraction of your body as you breathe out. When you breathe in, you bring fresh energy, new oxygen into your system, into your body. And when you breathe out, you release all the used up energies. Your muscles relax, your body gently contracts. So for a moment, allow yourself to experience that gentle, lovely, pleasant contraction and expansion of your body as you breathe in and breathe out. Have a sense that right now you are worthy and you are enough. You are part of the larger community, and you're co-creating this space for yourself and for others. It may happen that your mind will wander, captivated by thoughts, mainly by bodily sensations, maybe some external sounds. And that's absolutely normal. There's so much going on, and there's so much in competition for your attention awareness. So when that happens, acknowledge it and bring yourself back, the natural flow of your breath. They say that meditation is the practice of thousand returns, and that's what we do here. We keep returning to ourselves every time being taken away. And this is much easier when we do it together, as we do it right now. Breathing in, feeling expansion. Breathing out, feeling the relaxation of your body and contraction. And now, as you're getting more familiar with your breath, perhaps you getting into that relaxed, more relaxed, soft state. Also gently focus your attention in the middle of your chest, somewhere around your heart. So imagine breathing in into the center of your heart and breathing out, expanding the light, sparkling energy outside from the center, radiating throughout your cells, encompassing your entire body. Breathing in, taking the energy in, breathing out, feeling the expansion of energy coming outside, radiating outside through the center, from the center. And once again, you may find that your mind wanders, and that's okay, because I'm here to hold this space for you. I'm here to bring you back so we together can keep walking towards that calm, but it's always there. It's always accessible, although sometimes covered with the layers of emotions and thoughts and anxieties, to-do lists, but always there waiting for you. And our breath, it's a wonderful tool to remove those obstacles. Simply breathing in and breathing out, feeling expansion and contraction. And I want you to check in once again and feel how relaxed you are right now. I want you to feel the difference between how you started and where you are right now. What has changed? You are sitting in the same chair, you are in the same room. What has changed? And now, once again, coming back to yourself, coming back to your breath. The breath exists in spite of all the thoughts that you experience, all the emotions. It's always there. You may not pay attention to it, but it doesn't leave you. This is your anchor. This is your starting point. Now, for the second part of this meditation, I'd like you to get even deeper. And this time, I'd like you to focus just on your out breath. When you breathe in, your body receives fresh oxygen and energizes. And when you breathe out, all your muscles naturally relax. And I want you to notice that with every out breath, connect with that relaxation. And imagine that with every and each out breath, you sink in deeper into the center of your heart, into the center of your being. You are the active ingredient. And you feel safe, secure, and connected. With each breath, you're going deeper and deeper towards the center of your being. And there still may be thoughts, sensations, internal and external, that may get in the way, but that's okay, because I'm here to help you out, to reconnect, to bring you back. One breath at a time, one out breath at a time. sense a possibility underneath all the ordinary thoughts, thought patterns, and emotions. Navigating your way towards the calm, towards the center of your being. With each exhale, getting more in touch with this part of you that is always there. Things are slowing down. You are for yourself. And occasional thoughts that come to the mental landscape are like clouds in the sky, passing by. They may obstruct the view for a moment, then they quickly disappear as you keep your gaze focused on that point of stillness inside of you. You keep gazing, keep relaxing into it, feeling the warmth, feeling the safety, where all your needs are met. And now, the last part of the meditation, acting out of the space of stillness and clarity. Imagine how would it feel to act out of it every moment of your life. How would you feel connecting with others from that space? What would you say to your future self that acts out of this space? And as you do it, notice others around you that are searching for the same connection, that are connected with you from the same still point of your being. And now to conclude, begin your return, taking all that stillness with you. Start connecting with your body sensations. Check in. Notice how you feel right now. How's your body? Can you feel the relaxation? Can you feel the stillness? Begin by engaging your external senses. Start with sense of touch. Feel the touch of your feet on the floor. Feel the sensations in your hands. Your sit bones touching the chair. Feel your entire body tingling with fresh new energy and vitality. Now add some physical movement. Also gently and slowly wiggle your toes. Move and stretch your fingers. Carefully and slowly tilt your head to the left. Notice muscles in your neck stretching. Tilt your head to the right. Come back to the center. And now, all together, let us take one deep cleansing breath. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And when you're ready, open your eyes and welcome back. Wonderful, wonderful. Hmm. So, how does it feel? How does it feel to be yourself and come on the other side? We just spent half an hour together, and I want you to take a moment and compare how you felt when you begin this journey and how you feel now. Can you feel any difference at all? How do you feel, Sharon? Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. And now, perhaps, if you can write down in the comment section how you feel, perhaps there's something you'd like to ask me. And I'll be happy to answer any question that you have, or simply listen to what you have to say and if you have anything to share. I'm going to quickly check the live chat for anything that's happening there. Sharon, do you have any questions?
Mm, I do. Um, I sometimes experience anxiety in social situations, and I'm not always quite sure where it comes from. Um, but it comes on very, very fast, and so much so that you forget to, breathe, and you forget all these
Mm.
different things. And whilst I know mindfulness and calm are a practice, is there anything you can do in the moment when your brain shuts down and you can't
Mm.
actually speak because of the anxiety?
Mm. That's a wonderful, wonderful question that happens to me all the time, quite frankly. And let me just bring something up here. We always assume that when we start experiencing those sensations, those emotions, this is us. This is our fault. You might even feel guilty that you feel this way. But we must understand that when we come to a social situation, we almost instantaneously, without saying anything, start interacting with other people on a subtle level. There is a biofield or electromagnetic field that we emanate that expands around 5 feet around us. And the moment that we come in the presence of other people, those fields overlap. And when those fields overlap, there is an information exchanged in those fields. So what you may experience in a social situation, it's only partially your thoughts, your emotions. You may start experiencing others people's emotions and you don't know what they are and you don't have control over them. And so what we quickly judge of as this is my fault, this is how I feel, it's simply an interaction with others that it's a big component of it. A good example of it is when sometimes when you come to a conference room and we feel all together and calm, and then all of a sudden we'll feel, oh my goodness, there's something wrong. Because, because perhaps one or two person feel anxious, maybe they experience something that unsettled them, and we started feeling it. In science, there's a concept of so-called mirror neurons. Quite a recent discovery that points out towards the fact that we have structures in our brain that react and respond subconsciously to everything that happens around us, particularly to people around us. And as the name indicates, they mirror the behavior or emotional states of others. And this is hardly ever experienced on a conscious level. This is more subconscious. And that's the first evidence that scientists gathered, that there is a physical, tangible interaction between us, between the cells in our body that happens into your brain. And obviously, there's nothing you can do. When you feel emotion, it is in your body. You feel the contraction. Perhaps you can feel tension in your throat, in your tummy, and the breathing becomes more shallow, faster. Then what can we do? Obviously, we cannot tell your brain or tell yourself, I don't want to feel this way. That wouldn't work. But there's a one thing we can do. And sometimes we do it almost spontaneously. We don't have control of our emotions, but we still have a control over our physical body. And one very easy thing to do is to take, that's what we practice at the beginning of this meditation, one or couple of deeper breaths. And what happens when you take a deep breath, you disengage the sympathetic part of the nervous system that is responsible for that contraction. And you create a headspace through which the thoughts, the social interaction may flow. Because when you're in the sense of in the state of stress, simply the social interaction cannot happen because you're closed off. And again, science shows that your brain, particularly prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that is responsible for processing all those emotions, is shut down. So since you cannot tell your brain to do it, you can make your body to respond in the way that will open up those pathways. And breathing is the simplest, easiest way. So through breathing in deeply through your nose into your belly, pressing against this vagus nerve that is responsible for engaging or disengaging or downregulating the sympathetic part of the nervous system, and engaging or upregulating the parasympathetic part of the nervous system. That's the beginning of your way back from that tension, from that social anxiety, to back to where you feel more yourself. And one or even two breaths, they will not always help, but they will begin the process of downregulating the stress mode and upregulating the rest and digest. Another wonderful way of doing is when you feel, if you observe your body, what it does in the state of stress and anxiety, we kind of contract. We put our shoulders together, we put our head down, and we feel that contraction, internal contraction of our body translates into the external state. So since we cannot, once again, can you tell the emotions to change? What you can do, you can actually counteract it. You still have control of your body, and you simply open up. And that act of opening your hands, it's being researched to show a lot of physiological changes that in turn will create opening in your emotional state. So we work through physiology of your body in order to create more mental space. And I think this is something that everybody can do, right? Spread your arms. Spread your arms, take a deep breath, and feel how almost instantaneously your mood and your emotional state changes. I really recommend to try that in any social situation when you experience something that Sharon just describes. And I think we all experience that at some point. Okay, wonderful. All right. So if there are no further questions, always, this is a broadcast. I'm going to put this on my YouTube channel. So you always feel free to send a comment or send a question to underneath this video, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. For now, I'd like to thank you very much for participating and for being here with me. And thank you, Sharon, for helping me out and for being such a wonderful support in this broadcast.
Thank you for bringing it home.
Wonderful. So I wish you all a wonderful day or wonderful night, depends on where you are and what time you're listening and you're watching this broadcast. And I look forward to seeing you again soon in another session and another creating another connection in another piece of calm. Thank you very much. This is Tomek from Synergy Lab Sydney. It was my pleasure. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.